Alright guys, here we go. These are your Greek culture notes. Before we begin, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read through these notes with you, and we're going to fill them in as we go. Make sure that you note this organizer at the top. You're going to need to know it well. And these notes, you need to learn them quickly. But here we go. So, we're going to look at the organizer first. These are the cultural contributions left behind by the Greeks. You got four major ones: myths, epics, fables, and drama. Now with drama, you also have two types of drama: tragedy and comedy. So let's start with myths. What is a myth? It is a traditional story about gods and goddesses that expressed people's religious beliefs. A traditional story about gods and goddesses that express people's religious beliefs. Okay, that's a myth. So this is not necessarily something that's true. Now, with myths, gods had special powers. They could affect people's lives and shape events. They carried out rituals and held festivals in honor of the gods, hoping to gain their favor. So one example of this might be asking Zeus for water for their crops. Now, if there's no rain, they might have believed that Zeus was mad. If there was rain, they might have believed that Zeus was happy with them. So this is kind of how they worked with their gods. They wanted to make them happy so they would do good things for them. Their afterlife. The spirit goes to a gloomy world beneath the earth, which is ruled by Hades. So if you've ever heard the expression, go to Hades, or as hot as Hades, that's what this refers to. And Hades would be the H-E double hockey sticks. Also, with the Greeks, they believed that each person had their own fate or destiny. And so certain beliefs were going to happen, or they believed that certain events were going to happen no matter what they did. So they might believe that that day they went out and they ran into somebody that they owed money to, and they had to pay them that money. And so they would have believed that that was going to happen no matter what they did. They were going to have to pay the person that day. So that's destiny or fate. They also had prophecies. Prophecies predicted the future, and it was given by the gods to warn people of bad things to come and to give them time to change it. And lastly, with myths, we have something called an oracle. Now, you went to the oracle to get your prophecy. So the gods relayed the prophecy from the gods to the oracle to you. So it'd be kind of like going to a confessional today if you were a Catholic. Alright, so that's myths. Let's look at epics. Epics are long poems telling heroic deeds. Long poems telling heroic deeds. First great epics were the Iliad and the Odyssey. These were written by a person named Homer, and they were about the war between Greece and Troy. Now some people believe these wars happened. Some believe they didn't. But if you ever seen the movie Troy, that is based on these wars that Homer was writing about. Fables. Fables are the next cultural contribution. Fables are a short tale that teaches a lesson. A short tale that teaches a lesson. Now there's a person named Aesop. He was a Greek slave and he wrote many fables. His fables are now famous. You've probably heard of them, Aesop's fables. And fables are part of oral tradition. That means they are passed down from person to person by word of mouth. And if you've ever heard of the tortoise and the hare, that is an Aesop fable. Lastly, you have drama. And again, you have two types of drama, tragedy and comedy. But drama is a story told by actors who pretend to be characters in a story. And we still have lots of drama today, right? If you turn on TNT, they promote themselves as the channel that gives you drama. So drama is still around. Is a contribution that has lasted since Greece. And in fact, all four of these have lasted since Greece. But today, you've got the TV shows, you've got plays, and you've got movies that are all modern day types of drama. Now again, there are two types of drama, tragedy and comedy. Tragedy is when a person struggles to overcome difficulties, but fails, so the story has an unhappy ending. Now, comedy is not like you're thinking. It doesn't necessarily mean it's funny. In Greek comedy, that only meant the story has a happy ending. Okay? It only has a happy ending. Doesn't mean it's funny. So comedy is not like the comedy that we have today. In these stories, there were three big questions that the Greeks asked. Number one, what is the nature of good and evil? Number two, what rights should people have? And number three, what role do gods play in our lives? So, these are the four major contributions. These stories typically asked and hope to answer sometimes the three big questions. And again, those are what is the nature of good and evil? What rights should people have? And what role do gods play in our lives? These are three big questions that they had, not only in their stories, but in their overall daily life. They really thought about these and talked and discussed these questions all the time. So, four major contributions: myths, epics, fables, and drama. Two types of drama, tragedy and comedy. You need to familiarize yourself with these types of contributions that the Greeks made. And I hope that you got all of your notes filled in. All right, let's move on, guys.